Hi, this is Roxy. Welcome to Orchids 365. Today we're going to be removing these beautiful Dendrobium Keikis because this plant, which is the phylum Trilobello, shining pink, has pushed out many Keikis. Let me flip the camera over so that you can see it better. So here is the situation. They have grown on here everywhere. However, if you go down, let me see, I'll show you. She has a lot of Keikis. The flower is gorgeous. The lip is something out of this world. Oops, that one was on its way out anyway. Look how cute she is. And then all of these eventually may drop down to the ground, and they have a good amount of roots. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a basket arrangement of these to watch bloom next spring. So that's what my video is gonna be about. So I'm gonna take it down and take it to the table so that you can have a better idea of how I do it. Okay guys, so in an effort to give you a better view, I went ahead and I just grabbed the whole plant and I'm gonna lay her down here on the table, because if I hang it, it'll be hard for me to show how I remove them. So we wanna start from the very bottom, and then see these roots? This one is rather small. I'm gonna wait for that one to get bigger. I want more roots and I want a bigger growth. So you're gonna start looking for the ones that you feel. Now the best way is if you give it a little wiggle, like so. Sometimes if they're ready to pop, they pop. Look at that, flawless. It just came right off. And there's two here. So you see here, there are no wounds. But if you think that by any chance, there may be, like you may have taken it off a little bit, or you know, like a little bit of the tissue of the cane, you can always go in and give it a little dab of cinnamon. But I don't see any. But if you want to be extra precautious, you just go, you know, I just kind of give it a sprinkle. There you go. See, just in case you have a doubt, because that'll make you feel better. Not, you know, worried about so then here, then you kind of have to investigate. So you're like, okay, this guy, these roots belongs to this guy. So you want to kind of, you can do that because you want to put you want to put these roots in the basket. But then this cane, if you do a careful inspection of it, belongs to the plant. So this right here is a whole plant. This baby is too small. But since it was attached to the Keikis cane, I might just do the same thing. Even though it's tiny, it has a good chance of survival because of the amount of roots if I put it in the basket with this one. Or you can just leave it and let it grow in the bottom, which is the same. Just let it grow big. So I'm gonna set this one aside and I'm gonna do a couple more with you. Sometimes you might snap things. You might accidentally remove a leaf. Still plant it, because if it has roots, it has potential to grow. What do you have to lose if you're making a basket full of Keikis? You know, don't leave any behind. Look at this. Look at this amount of roots. So I'm going to go in there again. Let me close it up a little so you can see. Okay, and I'm just going to give it a nice little wiggle. And I can see the division of the cane and the Keiki. Give it a little wiggle there. Come on. So the cane here might suffer a little bit of damage. And if it does, I'm gonna go in with the cinnamon. It happens. Wow, look at all those roots. And again, I'm gonna show you when I put them in the basket, but the roots are gonna stay in and the canes are gonna stay out like that, okay? So I have two. I'm probably gonna get one more. This one, see here where it came off? There's a little bit of green, so I'm gonna go in there and you're gonna give it a little dab of cinnamon. And I hold this over the ground so it all falls, and I give it a, you know, and that's it. It'll heal. It'll heal just fine. Trust me, I've done this several times. I have a little baby here again. It's coming from this guy, so I might just go ahead and take this off and put it in the basket because, you know, I cleaned out this whole bottom cane. I like to do the bottom of the canes because those are the ones that are easy for me to forget out of sight, you know. So, oh, perfect. So I'm probably going to pot this one up. I'm going to see if this one wants to go on its own. And go ahead and repeat the same thing. So I think you have a good idea of how the removal works. and how if it's too small, you can totally leave them. And then you'll have Kikis blooming just like the big mama that I showed the other day in the video. So here I have this baby. Now here you don't even see any flowers, and this may look dead to you, but it's very much alive. All you want to do is, Julio! Oh my goodness! Okay guys, this may be a blooper, but I'm totally leaving it in there because you probably saw him coming, but I didn't. Julio, you think you can? Okay, he always has to do this. Every time I'm repotting something. I have no idea. He's like Spider Kitty, where he landed from. Julio, say hi. Yes, that's you. He's seeing himself in the camera and he's really confused right now. Are you done, sir? Thank you. All right. Okay, that just got fun. So we have already divided 1, 2, 3 pieces. A lot of roots. I think this is enough for one basket, but I want to make it really full. So let me see if there's anyone. You can do an inspection here. It's like if there's anyone that's really big or that you feel that is about to pop off. Like this one, I'm just going to let it grow probably. But maybe, ooh, this guy. This guy looks promising. I think this guy is ready to go. All right, I'm going to do one more. Come on, buddy. You're telling me you want out. Plus, the plant, you know, the energy is going into these, I imagine. Ooh, beautiful. No, not even a scratch on the cane, guys. See, look at those roots. Look at those roots. Very exciting. And again, it has this guy on the bottom. I might just leave him there. So we're going to get to that part now. So I think we have a good amount here where we can make a pretty basket. So I'm going to go hang her in case Julio decides to jump on the table. And I'm going to hop right back in here and show you how I'm going to put it in the basket. All right, went back there. I grabbed my mix and I grabbed 2 of my mosaic pots. I love these 4-inch pots, especially for dendrobiums. These are just, I'm loving how they're turning out. So I have these 2, and based on the pretty pink color, I'm gonna go with this one. And you can, depending on your watering habits, you can totally fill this with moss. A lot of people have. I have a few in moss, the thirstier ones. With this one, I'm gonna try this mix, which is the mix that has the medium-sized orchiata that I got at Ophi's, sponge rock, and the charcoal. So I put equal parts, probably more orchiata and like maybe, yeah, more of the orchiata and equal parts of charcoal and sponge rock. And it makes for a nice, coarse, well-draining mix. It's in this pot, which is why I'm not afraid to use moss either. So it depends on where you're gonna have it, what your watering habits are. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and if I feel it's doing great with this, I'm gonna avoid the moss, because once it starts raining here, it doesn't stop. We do have a bit of a drought going on. We got rain on Earth Day for the first time in over a month. So I'm really happy with that. The plants are very happy, and my rain barrel did save me. So I'm gonna stop chit-chatting and I'm gonna go ahead and fill these up. What I was thinking was, depending on how I see the roots, I might put a little bit of moss at the top, you know. So I filled it like, maybe a little more than halfway, maybe a little too much. So let's see what we are working with. Try for size. So you wanna go a little bit higher because you wanna have the roots inside, but you don't wanna have them, I was thinking if I do something like this, just a tad bit more. Maybe too much, but it doesn't matter. I can always take it out. I think this would give it about the proper height for the roots to sit in the media. So I'm just gonna kind of like play around with the arrangement a little and see where it looks best. All right, hopefully this will give you a better view. I zoomed it up a little. So I'm just grabbing them, roots down. For example, this is an entire plant right here. So I want these roots in and this cane out, all my canes out. These are new growths, these have been there. However, I have this guy hanging at the bottom, which is perfectly fine, because I can just pop her in there whenever she's ready. In fact, let's check, because she has a cane and a new growth, and if I feel that it can come off without causing damage, but I do feel like oh, there you go. Look, I found a little, look at that. Oh, that's perfect. Yes, perfect. Because I want those roots inside. Yeah, tiny little boo-boo. I'll take care of that. There you go. I'm sorry if when I blow off the cinnamon, it makes like a loud sound. So this is beautiful, guys. This plant, oh my, this is gonna look gorgeous. So I'm just kind of like just tossing them in there. Freestyling here with you guys. Here we have all these roots. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put them in a way where I can spread them out, but then again, it will be draping with flowers. You want a really full basket, you know. And the way these are growing, it's gonna look gorgeous. You wanna put that in there, that in there. This guy is huge. Look at that baby, gorgeous. And he has, this one is way too tiny. Doesn't even have leaves. It's this tiny little itty bitty baby. And see, you use, you know what you think, but I feel like I can let him get bigger. It's just one little cane, no new growth. So I'm just gonna let that little baby hang out, and then when I feel it's ready, it'll go in there. So I have a lot of roots going on here, so I'm really pondering if I should just use the moss, because I feel like the moss may hold them in place. Because I don't have to worry about the overwatering with this basket at all, or with this media. I'm gonna go see if I have any moss prepared. It may just be cleaner, like a cleaner look. All right, so I'm not liking the situation here. It looks like a mess. So I decided that I'm just gonna use both baskets, spread them out, because they're pushing out so much new growth. So I don't wanna like overdo it. So I usually prepare the moss in my either tomato or strawberry containers, because you have to wet them to get them ready, but then at the same time, they need to be able to air out, and this is perfect for that. So here we go. Oh no, Julio, like the timing is, Julio. I can't deal with you, buddy. We're here for orchids. What are you doing? Let me hold on to the camera. You know what, babe? You're gonna go down. Sorry, baby. Later, okay? Mommy's almost done. His timing is perfect. I thought he was just gonna wear the moss. So I'm gonna start by taking out a few plants and kind of mixing them, the bigger and the smaller ones. I was thinking 3 and 3, because this one has a baby in the bottom. And then now I feel like one has more than the other. I just can't decide. I feel like I always do this when I repot with you guys. I'm still gonna spread them out. So why don't we do this? Let's start with that basket. Okay, so I filled it more than half. Kind of play with the moss a little, but really what I want to use the moss for is to give these growing babies the support that they need to get these roots going. So I filled it a little, but then I'm moving the moss over it. Let me see if I can put the camera at an angle where you can see better. Okay, I feel like you can totally see what I'm working with better in that angle, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it there. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep these fresh roots, trying to hold them in with the moss over the media. Why? Because I feel like the moss is gonna help the roots grow, and that really is what happens. So notice this is one plant, but it has an active growth, and it has these two very much alive canes. So you want to have the roots inside, the new growth out, but enough room for them to be able to go up and down, right? You don't want to put them too low or too high, because the problem with putting them high with growing outdoors is if something hops on it, bird, anything, my cat, for example, it's not going to fall out of the basket if I give it. So this is pretty much what you do. You're tucking in those roots, and then this guy is attached with this Kiki, which I wish I can put in there, but I don't think it's quite ready. So I'm gonna put the one with the most roots and growth into the moss. I'm gonna put it up a little, put the roots, tucking the roots right under. Wow, very nice. Like right now it doesn't look like much, but in the spring it does. But it will, as it grows, all these canes will have pretty green leaves, and you know, it's easier on the eyes. Right now, when they go deciduous, like the canes, They don't look like much. A lot of people that don't grow the phylums or phylums, because people say the names differently, they don't know and they're like, oh my God, I killed it. Nope, you didn't. This is what they do. Wow, the bugs are out early today. Oh, this is quite cute. Quite cute. I really want to see if I can get this guy out of there without messing it up. Oh, I think I could. Because I want those roots to be in the moss. Just in case. I don't see any wounds, but I'm going to give it a little dab. Just in case. So all these beautiful roots are going to go in here, giving it a better chance of growing the roots. The fun thing about this is seeing them grow. I love growing babies, because when they bloom, or when they have new growths, it's like a whole other level of. Speaking of growing baby orchids, I have the ones that I opened the flasks 2 years ago. They're doing pretty good. The footage I have to dig in from 2 years ago. However, I did purchase another one, and that is a video that I'll be working on as soon as I unflask and I do it all, and I will be putting that process up to share with you. And I'm super excited and nervous to do it, but it will be my second time around, and I feel like I learned from doing it the first time, and I can share what I learned with you. All right, so here is what we're working with so far. And I feel like I am done with this basket. And of course, I'll be tucking in those roots, keeping an eye on it. I may just hang them. I feel like that's always better. But for now, I might put them on the shelf, keep an eye, make sure everybody stays in there. I'm also going to make a pretty ID and hang it on there, because I'm not going to remember next spring which one this is. Yep, that would be Julio jumping off of things. So now we're going to get this guy, and we're going to do the same exact thing. Put this one aside. Okay, this one is sitting too low, so I need a little bit more of my mix. Sorry for the noise. Not sure how it'll sound with the microphone. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. All right. So look at this big fella. This one, we agreed that this has not a lot going on yet, so we're going to leave that baby down there. Should be perfectly fine. And we are going to tuck those beautiful roots in with the moss. I love working with moss and doing repots. It's like therapy, especially early in the morning. It's a great way to start your day. Okay, so we're gonna get this guy, has a lot of good roots as well. He's big as well, so we're gonna put him around here. Space them out as much as I can so that when they start blooming and growing, I do believe I'm wearing bug spray, but these things are relentless. And we are just beginning. Have this little guy, he's adorable. I'll put him in this corner. Pretty much, you're making an arrangement. You are arranging them how you want to see them. So we have 2 baskets of these beautiful dendrobiums. Totally worth it. I love using the moss when you're helping keikis and seedlings with their roots. It just scares me a little because of rainy season. However, they will grow a lot in rainy season because rainwater is the best fertilizer that there is, you guys. No joke. But I'm terrified of what happens when we don't get breaks in between those downpours, which is why I'm using this media in the bottom and my baskets with plenty of holes, plenty of drainage. It looks like this in the bottom as well. These are the mosaic pots. And I always have these online. As soon as I make some, I put it on there. Thank you for your patience. I've been trying to catch up with inventory. Look at this, you guys. How adorable. And it's going to be fun to look at them. I hope you can hear me over that bird that's squawking over there. But thank you for joining me for the removal of these Dendrobium Keikis. I hope that this was helpful to you. Maybe you have something that's ready, to get potted up and you were a little bit... Okay, The bird has a lot to say. You were a little bit afraid to go in there and do it, so hopefully this gives you the boost to do it. I'm trying to finish all my repots before June, so hopefully by the end of May I'll be done, but it's pretty hard. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed doing this with me, the bloopers with Julio, and I just want to thank you for joining me, for your support, for your awesomeness, most importantly for your kindness. So here are my 2 new baskets of beautiful dendrobiums, and we will watch them grow, and let's see what we get next spring. Always remember to please, please be kind. Love you guys. Catch you next time.